And time. Welcome, judges. The philosopher Sydney Banks once said, "All we are is peace, love, and wisdom, and the power to create the illusion that we're not." Banks discovered what he called the three principles: mind, consciousness, and thought. Together, they explain how we experience life, and for me, how I experience coffee. When we compete, it's easy to drift. We start from something personal, but then doubt sets in, expectations and comparisons, and all of a sudden, we stop creating from curiosity and start performing from pressure. I will show you how I overcame this illusion. I'm gonna start with the espresso, guided by the mind, then the milk drink, expressed through consciousness, and finally, the signature drink, shaped by thought. So, mind is the universal intelligence that is always present, guiding us and we quiet the noise of our thinking. It's what guided me in choosing my coffee. I'll present you with a Wush Wush from Finca La Negrita in Tolima, Colombia, grown by Dr. Mauricio Chatar. I'll start off by doing the shots for my signature drink, allowing them to cool down. When choosing this coffee, I felt the pressure to pick a geisha. Many people told me the Wush Wush was too risky, which made me doubt my decision. But when I tasted this Wush Wush, I quieted the noise. I believe in this coffee. Mauricio, as a scientist, leaned into universal intelligence. Where others saw doubt, he trusted his belief that there was potential. The biodiverse volcanic soil in high altitude of 2,100 meters allowed for slower cherry maturation, bringing more sugars and the perfect base for Mauricio's processing. The ripest cherries, reaching 20 bricks, was hand-picked, maximizing sweetness. Then they were cleaned to remove competing microbes, ensuring a cleaner final cup. For 2 years, Mauricio refined his approach, experimenting with different cultures and techniques. Finally, he found the perfect match. Norok, a highly complex culture, similar to koji, just even more complex, together with a two-stage natural process on raised beds. These raised beds allowed the Norok to thrive, bringing a velvety texture to the coffee, together with intensifying tropical characteristics like golden kiwi. The second stage, in a temperature-controlled darkroom, allowed for slower drying, highlighting the candy-like sweetness of the variety. This approach transforms Wush Wush from something overlooked to something extraordinary. Today, my recipe for all of my drinks will be 19 grams in to 48 grams out. This is where I found the perfect balance between flavor clarity and texture. When I place the espresso in front of you, please hold off on tasting. Just evaluate the crema for now. The sweetness of the variety really comes through when allowed to cool down a bit. So, if you could please write down these flavor notes. Black grapes, golden kiwi, and pomelo. It's gonna have a long-lasting aftertaste of molasses. Here you go. It's for you. Here you are. Last but not least, this is the true potential of Whoosh Whoosh, a coffee that reminds me of what is possible when we overcome our illusions. Now, if you would please grab the spoon with the wooden handle, stir 8 times, and enjoy. Consciousness is the universal awareness that brings our thoughts to life. It is what allows us to experience the world in the way that we do. Steaming milk should be simple. I've done it for 7 years. But sometimes it still goes wrong. Not because I don't know how, but because I'm in my head. Overthinking turns skill into stress. I focus too much on what to do, and suddenly I'm disconnected from my instincts. But when I shift my awareness and let consciousness guide me, I reconnect with the texture I want. Then steaming feels effortless and natural. That same awareness shaped my milk blend. The base is 90% lactose-free whole milk that brings more sweetness due to its simpler sugar chains. Then 8% macadamia milk that brings a silky texture. And finally, 2% of a coconut milk, which prevents separation, while also echoing the tropical characters of the Whoosh Whoosh. The ratio is 1 part espresso to 3 parts milk. This is where I found the perfect balance between milk and espresso. And I've steamed that milk to 50 degrees, maximizing sweetness. So, if you would please write down these flavor notes. Banana, coconut cream, and vanilla. It's gonna have a long-lasting aftertaste of vanilla. And then, before you enjoy, please take the metal spoon and stir 3 times. Roasting this coffee was another place to overthink, but by letting consciousness help me, I was able to find the true potential. There you go. With a slow temperature increase, a final development of 15%, and a total resting of 5 weeks, its true potential was revealed. There you go. And there you are. And there you go. Please enjoy. Thought is the creative force that brings our thoughts to life. Every experience begins there. When we see this, we gain freedom. We can start creating with clarity rather than fear. When designing this drink, I let thoughts of not being good enough shape my reality. But then I remembered, my reality is shaped by my thoughts. If I change them, my experience changes. So I stopped trying to impress and chose what felt true. Therefore, I based this drink on all of my favorite flavors. The base will be 4 shots of the whoosh whoosh, and the tropical nature of the whoosh whoosh set the tone for the coming ingredients. And I'm adding 50 grams of coconut water, chosen for its velvety texture, just like the whoosh whoosh. And together, they create a new flavor of dried apricot. Then, taking inspiration in Mauricio's breakthrough, I inoculated sea buckthorn, the tropical fruit of the north, with Norok. I took 100 grams of sea buckthorn, put it in a box together with 1% of Norok, left it to ferment for 2 weeks before straining for clarity. I'll be using 28 grams of this. Together, they create a new flavor of mango. The 2 weeks fermentation also made the aroma more complex together with the acidity. And to balance out that acidity, I made a 2-to-1 sugar syrup. I'll be using 30 grams of this, where I've of course taken account the loss in the syringe. I used a high molasses sugar together with 1% nutmeg for depth and roundness, creating a new flavor of cloves. And to cool down the drink and amplify the flavors, I'll be blending everything together with 50 grams of ice for about 15 seconds. Clear up this for you. So, if you could please write down these flavor notes. Dried apricot, mango, and cloves. It's going to have a lingering aftertaste of cloves. When I place this drink in front of you, please hold off on tasting and just just hold off on tasting until I call time. But when I do, let the flavors take you somewhere joyful. Each sip will come alive through your thoughts. And I return to Sydney Banks' words. All we are is peace, love, and wisdom, and the power to create the illusion that we're not. In coffee, the illusion comes from chasing trends, overthinking, and losing ourselves in comparison. But with mind, consciousness, and thought, we don't need to fit into boxes. We can write our own story, our own coffee history. And just like this whoosh whoosh, we can transform what was once overlooked into something extraordinary when we remember who we are. Time.
And that was Christopher Sahyoun, Hoff representing Denmark. Woohoo! We're going to be right back with our long-form interview with Christopher. Stay tuned.